Hey, what's going on YouTube? Lionel here, and I have my final fragrance review for today and this week. Um, I come from the house of Cartier, and I'm going to talk about a fairly popular fragrance in the community, and it is Cartier Roadster. Um, you can look on Fragrantica and kind of get the history of Cartier Roadster. What type of fragrance it is. When it was made and the nose behind it. So there's no need for me to do that. You can learn a lot more about fragrances just by looking on Fragrantica, just like I do. Um, I will give you the note breakdown quickly. Excuse me, sorry about my voice. In the top you have, well, you know what? It doesn't really have a pyramid, so to say. So I'm just going to read the notes and I'll tell you what I think. Labdanum, patchouli, vanilla, bergamot, mint, and vetiver. Those are the notes that I found on Fragrantica. Again, there's really no pyramid, so it's hard for me to, try to give an easy breakdown of top, middle, and base notes. So um, this is my favorite designer fragrance. I have a top 10 list. I may do that again. So I may do one more video on the top 10. But I think Roadster is my favorite designer. Since one other has been decided that it is a niche fragrance. Um, anyway, Cartier Roadster. Initial spray, you get a blast of bergamot and mint. First spray, that's what you smell. Lots of fresh crushed mint, sort of the mint that you find in Geranium Pour Monsieur if you are a fan of Frederick Malle. And then you get bergamot in the top. So don't be deceived by the bergamot; it is gone in a few minutes. So um, that bergamot burns off, and what you're left with is mint, fresh crushed mint. Maybe some people say toothpaste mint, other people say spearmint gum. I don't know. It is. When I did this review last time, I told you I was doing one of my old friends gave me a bunch of what do you call it, mojito stuff. So she made fresh mojitos, had the alcohol and the crushed, the mint leaves and some lemon stuff like that. So I ended up a lime and some other stuff. So anyway, I had a chance right around the time I got Roaster. I had these mint leaves, so I was like, let me just compare it. I mean, as natural as possible. They almost smelled identical. Given that it's in a perfume, so or in EDT, so there is some differences, but it was very very similar to my nose. So it's that kind of mint. It's the mint that you find in your natural food store. The kind of mint you put in food, alcoholic beverages, that type of thing. So or non-alcoholic beverages for anybody who doesn't drink. So that's what you get, and you get that for couple of that mint is kind of left alone to handle this fragrance for maybe an hour or so until the heart starts to kick in, and in the heart I get some bergamot and some not bergamot, I get some vanilla, and the vanilla is the sweetness is curved by a maybe some patchouli, but definitely the vetiver. So though the vetiver may be in the base, it is definitely in the heart of this fragrance. As it starts to dry down a bit, what you're left with is a nice mint, some nice vanilla, and some sweetness with the vanilla, and then some vetiver to kind of curb the sweetness. So it's not just kind of that, you know, the vanilla you find in like a pure Havana. It's kind of the vanilla you find in trying to think of a fragrance where you have vanilla. I don't know. I have to think. But anyways, it's not a very sweet vanilla, but it does sweeten up. Um, and I get that for the next, that happens at about the second, third hour, and after that, I get that for the duration of the scent. It becomes quite linear at that point, and as it dries down more, you still get more it just kind of, for me, it just gets a little more sweeter, a little more lighter, and then it just disappears around after excuse me, after 8 hours. So let's talk about the projection and sillage. The projection and sillage on this is very, very good for at least the first. One day I sprayed it on about 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock, and at one when I went to the bank, she's a few feet away from me, a bank teller, and she says, "Wow, what is that you're wearing?" An older woman says, what is that you're wearing? Can you write it down because that smells great, and I would love my husband. I buy things for my husband because he won't buy himself. So, I broke down and told her what it was, and told her where she can find it, and um, she was pleased with it. So that pleased me. Um, at work, it's always you smell great. You smell good. It's everyone who smelled it or who said something without me even soliciting was saying that it's fresh, but it's kind of it's fresh with some sweetness to it. That's how they described it, and I would describe it the same way. It's refreshing yet sweet. With that, you get a it makes this an all year round fragrance. This fragrance is extremely versatile. It can go well on hot summer days outside. It can go well in a corporate office. This is probably one of the most versatile scents I own, because I don't know if I would even wear Guerness, just on a hot summer day outside. This one you can because it has a cooling and a warming effect. It's cool, the first few hours, and then it warms up. But the warmness is curbed by the vetiver, which makes it, safe enough to wear in just hot weather. You're not going to feel cloying. You're not going to, nobody's going to be like, oh, you smell, too much. It never gets, for me, this never gets too much. You actually even can't overspray it. I think one of the biggest problems people are having is either they or someone they're close to is, are having allergic reactions to it. Like it just doesn't sit well with their nose. I think some people even said they got headaches from it. So for me, I don't have that problem. Absolutely love this fragrance. Um, Again, it is. I think it's number 4 on my list of fragrances, 4 or 5 maybe. Um, and every time I wear it, it makes me decide I want to move it up some. Like this one in Dior Homme, not the intense version, both do that for me. The more I wear them, the more I just love them and enjoy them, and realize they're a lot more complex than normal. I mean, if this was a niche fragrance, I mean, it'd be a very popular fragrance, I believe. So, or to get more love. For some reason, it just doesn't get a whole bunch of love in the community. A lot of people selling, and I don't know why. I mean, this is when I first smelled it, I put it on, I was like, oh, this is where it like. I had the same experience I had with both Gare and Aventus and GIT with this one. So um, again, you get about 8 you get about 8 hours. I mean, you can smell it, then it just kind of gets vetiver and sweetness is what you start to get at the base. Um, Sort of like, think of it's not as pronounced as the vetiver that you find in like vetiver tonka, but you kind of get that type of vetiver feel to it. But it's the vanilla is still there, but the mint stays the duration of the scent. You're gonna get the mint. And it just gets lighter and lighter as it dries down. So then you're in your base. Overall, I give this a 5 out of 5 for me. It meets every need that I ever have in a fragrance. Like actually, if I had to take a fragrance with me, between Gare, this one, and Aventus, it'd be hard because like it would probably be between Aventus and this one just because of the versatility of both of those. I can wear both of those in any setting, anywhere, all the time, and they're always going to draw compliments. Aventus may just get a bit more because it's such a unique fragrance. Um, so that is Cartier Roadster, 5 out of 5. I love it. It is a definite buy for me. If you're selling it, hit me up. Peace.